Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
When United Kingdom-based cat shelter Bradford Cat Watch Rescue received a call from the police about two neglected kittens, they had no idea what they were in for. Still, they figured that they'd rescued countless cats over the years, so they likely wouldn't be too surprised at whatever they were about to face. But when volunteers finally arrived at the shelter, they realized the situation was so much different from anything they'd ever experienced. The shelter staff took in the poor cats and started treating them immediately. They knew they had almost no time to spare. When you see what had, it's difficult to imagine how any animal lover or pet owner could ever decide to abuse their furry friends in any possible way. Yet, cases of animal abuse and neglect are reported around the world every single day and, sadly, they don't seem to be nearing an end. When United Kingdom-based cat shelter Bradford Cat Watch Rescue received an urgent call from local police regarding two neglected kittens, they had no idea what was in store for them. Still, they'd rescued countless cats over the many years, so they figured they'd seen just about everything. Whatever it was, it couldn't be too bad, right, wrong. When they arrived, they discovered two kittens, who were estimated to be just 1 month old, in this shocking condition. Someone seemed to have colored in their white fur with permanent markers, leaving them blue and green, respectively. Katie Jane, the volunteer at Bradford Cat Watch Rescue in the United Kingdom who received the kittens, named them Shrek and Smurf for their respective colors. Here at BCWR, we often consider ourselves to be unshockable, Katie said in an interview. We have dealt with most situations, but this is a first, she continued. Katie gave the pair of kittens bottles of milk and she prepared many baths for them, but she had to be very careful not to do too much at once or else they'd be overwhelmed. They were so tiny, after all, the little kittens couldn't handle so much stress in such a short period of time. For this reason, it was important that the team treated them as delicately as humanly possible. These poor little animals had endured so much up to that point. The little kittens couldn't handle so much stress in such a short period of time. For this reason, it was important that the team treated them as delicately as humanly possible. These poor little animals had endured so much up to that point. Katie was sure not to get any of the marker solution in their eyes or mouths. Cleaning the traumatized kittens was a long and difficult process, but it was necessary. She simply had to be as careful and as gentle as possible. The patient kittens looked grateful to have shed their terrible, abusive past. Still, they remained relatively shocked from the entire ordeal, almost like they couldn't believe someone who they'd trusted could be so cruel to them. After a few more baths and a ton of reassuring cuddles from the staff at the rescue, Shrek and Smurf were beginning to look close to normal. Thank goodness there were people who were brave and kind enough to save these two precious kittens. It's still unimaginable how anyone could find it in themselves to treat animals with such utter disrespect. Thankfully, even though they might have had a rather rough start, these two adorable kittens are getting a second chance now.